afternoon, viewers. Welcome to this bilingual newscast on Equinoxe television. We begin the first part in English just to take you to Melong, the Mongo division of the Littoral region, where the once busy and clean Melong market is now a shadow of itself. The market is now inundated by heaps of uncollected garbage. The traders as well as buyers are raising concerns and calling on authorities to take measures in order to collect the waste and dump them elsewhere. We have details with Asia Luciliengo in this report.
Market looks, it's ironical that within the market, traders and buyers now navigate through heaps of garbage. Traders at the Melong market in the Mongo division lament the abandoned heaps of uncollected garbage in every corner. They complain that they have been enduring this unsanitary condition for over 3 months.
Depuis plus de 3 mois à Melong, on ne dégage pas la poubelle.
Some also regret paying taxes despite this condition.
Chaque jour on prend les tickets, on demande l'argent, on nous laisse pas, nous sommes dans la boue. Venez nous voir alors à Melong comment nous sommes sales.
In this precarious condition worsened by the rains, with dirt now mixed with mud, it has become increasingly complicated for buyers who come to shop daily. An accusing finger is also pointed at the company responsible for waste collection and disposal. Many plead with local authorities to seek better solutions to resolve the issue of poor waste disposal at the Melong market.
Les commerçants, n'est-ce pas, sont désordonnés. Le maire, la première fois, le maire a même partagé les poubelles ici, les sacs.
While some call on authorities concerned for action, an inhabitant believes that the incivility of those in the market is also to be blamed.
Même de l'autre côté, il y avait la poubelle, mais on a déjà tout détruit.
He notes this is not the first time the market has been in such a dirty state.
Nous on souffre, les odeurs, la saleté.
Awaiting concrete solutions, the piles of garbage in the Melong market continue to pose a serious health risk to the population due to the foul smell emanating from the dirt.
In now talk politics, the candidates and president of the Cameroon National Salvation Front Party, Issa Chiroma Bakari, was also candidate for the upcoming October 12 presidential election, was in Garwa North region yesterday, received by thousands of supporters as well as sympathizers of the FSNC party. It should be noticed that he was welcomed at the airport, and the FSNC presidential candidate returns to his hometown after a busy week of meetings with other opposition leaders aimed at forming a coalition. The former government minister has seen a surge in popularity in recent weeks after resigning from the Biya regime and launching his own bid to challenge the long-serving leader, President Paul Biya. Videos obtained also shows enthusiastic supporters at Garwa Airport cheering as Issa Chiroma Bakari arrived. Another clip captures crowds lining the streets eager to greet him and chanting in French, "Bienvenue, Monsieur le Président." And of course, we remain in politics now. We take you to talk about the political atmosphere in Bamenda, chieftain of the Northwest region, as yesterday members of the G27, that was a group or faction of the Social Democratic Front Party, who recently were dismissed by the chairperson of the party, which of late John Frunzin, have decided to join the ranks of the National Union for Democracy and Progress of Bello Buba Maigari, also a presidential candidate for the October 12 presidential election. Amongst them, Honorable Yoyo Emmanuel, former SDF parliamentarian and National Financial Secretary. The G27 plus members presented themselves to the National Union for Democracy and Progress Secretary General, Dr. Pierre Flambeau Ngaya, in Bamenda. Honorable Yoyo said He chose to join the NUDP because the party promised to go back to the federal system of government, introduce the post of the vice president, and make the presidency rotatory between francophones and anglophones. And one of the declarations also made during that meeting was that the president of the party, Bello Buba Maigare, will be visiting Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region, in the weeks to come. Now, the former, or we also talk about politics, to note that in a significant development, Honorable Jean-Michel Nincho was also former member of the Social Democratic Front and now the president of the Front for Change in Cameroon, FSNC, and member of Parliament, has made a statement regarding the exclusion of Maurice Kamto from the 2025 presidential race. According to Jacques-Michel Nincho, he qualifies that as a few on a democratic practice and also a maneuver by ELECAM, the Constitutional Council, and the Minister of Territorial Administration to kick out the main challenge of President Paul Biya from the presidential race. For me, Armstrong Sander tells us more in this report.
APC describes the exclusion of Professor Maurice Kamto as a historic betrayal and a flagrant injustice committed in collusion with the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, the CPDM party. The Constitutional Council's decision to exclude Maurice Kamto, the candidate presented by the Manidem political party and supported by the APC, the alliance says has been condemned as arbitrary and driven by fears of Kamto's popularity among Cameroonians. In the name of the APC, Honorable Jean-Michel Nincho urges supporters of change to remain strong and not be discouraged by what he says is injustice, saying that they plan to announce their position on the election's remainder in the days ahead. Honorable Jean-Michel Nincho also reveals that the APC and Maurice Kamto have not engaged in any discussions or negotiations with any of the approved candidates yet. The APC, according to him, remains convinced that change through democratic alternations is the most likely option to spare Cameroon from the current regime's grip on power. Honorable Jean-Michel Nincho concludes that the exclusion of Maurice Kamto has sparked concerns over transparency, fairness and democratic participation in the electoral process in Cameroon. Kamto's supporters, according to him, view this move as another attempt to undermine democracy and maintain the current regime's grip on power in the country. The Alliance pour le Changement, the APC, as it is known in French statements, reflects the growing tension and challenges ahead of the presidential election, with the opposition focusing on election monitoring and unity talks.
Cameroonians, political actors, as well as civil society members in Cameroon have hailed the action of the president of Gabon, Brice Oligui Nguema, to protect local jobs for Gabonese. In a recent decision or restrictive action taken by the Gabonese president, Brice Oligui Nguema, he protects local jobs from foreigners. He prohibits foreigners from doing certain jobs that are now meant just for Gabonese, and civil society leaders, political actors, and other Cameroonians have hailed this and saying that the government should equally emulate this action of Brice Oligui Nguema. Details in this report.
Action taken by Brice Oligui Nguema, president of Gabon, to protect local employment for Gabonese, has earned applause from the political class in Cameroon.
I give him a 95% score. I think he's doing a great thing. He's a great leader. Oligui Nguema of Gabon is trying to reset the economy of Gabon and put the capacity to produce in the hands of Gabonese.
An initiative, he says, should not be misinterpreted.
Most people who don't think beyond the box and think only of themselves would think that what Oligui has done is bad. It is not bad. It is good. Now, when you have people who are more advanced than you, when they come into your environment, they should help you lift the heavy weights, create industries in which you are implicated, not industries in which you are observers. You cannot allow people who are stronger than you, they come into your environment and then they take the small jobs from your people and push your people back into the backyard to be drinking, having sex, and having orgies and doing nothing, the violence grows. The Gabonese cannot produce cars now, but at least they can do the small jobs. Let them start with the small jobs and do it. That is how you grow a nation.
In Dr. Nick Ngwanyam's analysis, it is from these little local or odd jobs that great entrepreneurs emerge to build a resilient economy and nation.
For instance, the guy who is repairing shoes, when he repairs shoes and sees the different kinds of shoes, how they are made, where they are made, and begins to understand what it goes into the making of shoes, before you know it, he's going to have a tanning industry in which he is producing leather. And before you know it, he will be importing other things from China and so on. And before you know it, he will have the machines and will start making those shoes in Gabon. That's how an industry is birthed. But if you just allow your people to just stay there and do nothing like we are doing in Cameroon, we will get nowhere. So, congratulations once more to the president of Gabon.
Just like Dr. Nick Ngwanyam, many Cameroonians, including civil society leaders, hail the action of President Brice Oligui Nguema of Gabon, thereby wishing authorities in Cameroon acted same to prioritize their citizens, preserve and protect jobs for Cameroonians which have almost been confiscated all by foreigners.
The visionary mind once again evokes the necessity of the third option and the effective implementation of the import substitution plan of the head of state, President Paul Biya, if development is imminent and if Cameroon wants to be like Gabon. Details in this excerpt selected.
And if you do understand what he has done, it is exactly what President Paul Biya is saying. When President Paul Biya is saying import substitution, he is saying we should stop importing stupid things and begin to produce them ourselves. To produce them ourselves doesn't mean that we should set up industry. We should allow the Chinese to come into Cameroon and set up industries and continue to produce those things while our own youths are drinking and dancing and having sex. No. It means that we should put our youth together, give them the training and everything so that we begin to produce the rice that we need ourselves. It's about a concept. It's DIY, do it yourself. That is exactly what the third option will do in Cameroon. We are going to do exactly what he has done in Cameroon and make sure that our youths are working. Riding on motorcycles is great, but it's not the best of jobs. We need to move all those people with masters and first degrees who are riding motorcycles to become productive in the industrial sector. We are going into elections now with all these politics and so on. It doesn't matter who wins, on s'en fout. Who can help Cameroonians solve their problems? Who can help Cameroonians do it themselves? We've been talking and making a lot of noise for 60 years. When your education is bad, when you just the politician, you're just making noise and you cannot produce anything. That's where the problem is. Because what you need is people who can produce.
Notably, Catholic faithful at the St. Peter and Paul Cathedral yesterday prayed for the leaders of Cameroon and also for peace to reign during this pre-electoral period, during and after the presidential election. They gathered at the St. Peter and Paul's Cathedral here in Douala during celebration of the Feast of Assumption, marking the Assumption of Mary, body and soul, into heaven. We have details with Mala Glory.
In all solemnity, the Christians humbled themselves during the Mass at the St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, Douala, which was presided over by His Grace Joseph Valerie Melong. The Christians prayed for their families, and the rector during the message called on the Christians to as well pray for those in power to lead not in their own interests, but for the interests of the citizens.
Avec Marie élevée au ciel, prions pour.
Let's pray for those in high position, those involved in politics, those governing nations, to serve in the interests of the people and to always find ways for peace and justice. It was an exciting moment for Catholic faithfuls who said it is a day for them to meditate on their lives and their relationship with the Holy Mary.
I'm very happy, I'm glad. It's a feast. It's a particular day because it's the Virgin Mary that is elevated by our Father. And it's a day that is really gorgeous and important for us Christians. So we really attach this day to in our hearts. So it's very important.
We have come to thank her for what she has done for us. She always intercedes for us sinners.
Elle peut intercéder, elle intercède toujours pour nous, nous les pécheurs.
The Mass ended with Christians taking part in the Holy Communion as they retired home to celebrate the Assumption of Mary into heaven.
The reports by Mala Glory put an end to this 12 p.m. newscast on Equinoxe television. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back at 8 p.m. of course with a French presenter. To have a splendid day and meet you again.